We all have difficult people in our lives. It's a predictable fact. And while some people are difficult all of the time, there are others who are only difficult some of the time. Regardless, they are exhausting to deal with. However, there are certainly things that we can do and things that we can keep in mind when we're confronted by our difficult behavior. So, our top 10 list this week is all about dealing with difficult people. Our first tip comes from Enick Levesque from Ottawa, Ontario. Enick reminds us of a simple tip that is incredibly hard to do. She says that regardless of how they are treating us, we must always remember to show the other person respect, even if they aren't showing it to us. To always be kind and to smile, as a smile goes a long way. Yes, that is hard to do, but it is the right thing to do. There's a reason that Enick is one of the 5 semi-finalists for the Canadian Administrative Professional of the Year award. Kindness and respect are difficult when someone isn't being kind nor respectful, but it is a great reminder to us all that we shouldn't stoop to their level. Our second tip also comes from one of our 5 finalists for the Canadian Administrative Professional of the Year award. Harpreet Renew from Toronto, Ontario advises us to really listen to what the other person is saying instead of reacting to what you think they are saying or reacting to the tone of what they are saying. We probably all know the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And one of the habits is to seek first to understand and then be understood. If we listen to Harpreet's recommendation, we will stop and listen to what the other person is saying. Take a deep breath before responding and then respond to the words. Don't read into the tone or the delivery. Listening and hearing are very different things. Really listen to what they are saying. Our third tip is from Jane Lowell from Manotick, Ontario. Jane shares that she finds a difficult person is being difficult because of their own pain. Jane tries to find out what is causing their behavior and how she can support them for a win-win. She does advise that it doesn't always work, but more often than not, it does. Now, I teach this in my Dealing with Difficult People workshops. Find out what they are doing and find out why they are doing it. What is causing this behavior? Often you'll realize they want something or the payoff they are looking for has nothing to do with you. Once you realize the motivation behind their behavior, it makes it a lot easier to create a win-win. Leslie Hartwell from Rapid City, South Dakota reminds us that the situation has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. She recommends that we kill them with kindness, and when we do so, it often takes care of the situation. People are not being difficult because of you. You are, however, often in their way of them getting what it is that they want or need. They're difficult because they want or need something. They aren't being difficult to deliberately ruin your day, for the most part. Don't take it personally. Remind yourself that it's not you and see if you can be extra kind to that person. Number 5 is from Beverly Byerman King from Little Britain, Ontario. Beverly is a mental health expert, and she reminds us to take care of ourselves when we are working with difficult people. It takes an incredible amount of energy to buffer yourself against difficult people. Eat right, sleep, have a life outside of work so that this person doesn't suck the life energy out of you. Good advice, right? I'm sure we've all been physically and emotionally drained from being with our difficult people. So use that airplane analogy and put your own oxygen mask on first. You must take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Kalinda Maxwell from Kempville, Ontario works at a major fast food coffee restaurant. Kalinda says that for the most part, people are difficult because they are overwhelmed or upset. Because most people are genuinely nice people and don't want to hurt others. These people just need a little patience and understanding. So when she's working, if she sees a young mom with a screaming baby, the mother may be difficult because she's overwhelmed at the moment. Kalinda will get the child's attention by giving them a free treat or something along those lines, which settles the child down. It gives mom a few more minutes of peace. Then she can regroup and not be a difficult customer to deal with. Roger Dunn from San Diego, California recommends that if you work with your difficult person and have a hard time not taking things personally or fighting back, what you need to do is limit the interactions you have with them. If you can take them in small doses, then make sure you don't have large doses. If you don't have to sit beside them at a meeting or don't have to have lunch with them, then don't. The more space you give yourself, the easier it will be for you to remain professional when you need to keep your cool. You don't need to try to be their buddy with them. Keeping your distance is sometimes the right answer. Number 8 comes from Holly Williams from Frankfurt, Germany. While thinking about your difficult person, examine the way you act when you are with them. You may find that you have both developed a feedback loop of behavior where you're difficult to each other. Examine if perhaps you are part of the issue and focus on how you can change your behavior to get different results. You may find that they return the kindness, and hopefully you can both move forward. Sherry Bricks from Toronto, Ontario brings us number 9. Sherry reminds us to stay calm. You should never tell your difficult person to calm down. That's like pouring gasoline on the fire. We do need to remind ourselves not to get baited into being a difficult person ourselves. Staying calm may keep the situation from escalating. So repeat in your mind, stay calm, don't react. Stay calm, don't react. Maybe we would need to write that tip down on a Post-it note and keep it in full view all day long. And number 10 is from me. My tip is to have boundaries with what you will respond to and what you won't respond to. If I react and respond to everything that you do, I'm probably being a difficult person as well. So figure out where your boundaries are. When they aren't crossed, learn to look away, turn the other cheek, or kill them with kindness. When someone does cross a boundary, be prepared so that you know what you will say or do in those situations. So for instance, I'm not a fan of negative people. It's exhausting. And I have people in my life who are chronic complainers, as I'm sure that you do too. And they're the type of person, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too wet, it's too dry, it's too green, it's too brown, it's too white. Nothing ever makes them happy, right? And I realized that if I try to be overly positive and change what they say to the positive all the time, I'm going to kill myself. So I don't care if they complain about the traffic or the person in the grocery store. I'll listen. I'll give them my attention. I'll give them what they want. But when they cross the boundary, when they complain about the boss, other employees, or the company, I will respond. And I have to have my response ready to go. So something along the lines of, I love working here. I don't know why you are complaining. Because that's my boundary. I won't take the negativity in those subjects. And I will choose to ignore the other negativity on the other subjects. Dealing with difficult people can range from small irritants, like the negativity, to much larger things. One thing is certain, you need to have a plan. And I hope these tips help with your plan. Keep on the right track this week.